mean, the question that we need to ask ourselves, beyond who am I, is what do I want? Just to bring us back in to this time and space reality so that we can actually begin to meet our anxieties, our feelings of sadness, our hopelessness, our wanting to find some kind of happiness, to move away from the emotions that are overriding us, that are taking over our mind, our well-being. So we begin by asking ourselves, what do I want? And this is where we get stuck. This is where the struggle begins. Usually by this time we've spent a fair amount of time working out what we don't want, and our mind's tired. We're surrendering to the fact that that's not making us particularly happy. It's not actually improving our life. It's not. We're not gaining any kind of growth. And so we get to a point where we kind of start being mindful about what it is we do want. There's an emptiness that arises. There's a stuckness. There's an increase in the feeling of hopelessness. We can tend to move into the sadness, the anxiety, because we don't know what we want, and this is the perfect opportunity to move in a little closer to the surrender, to cultivating the acceptance of not knowing, of absolutely being okay with not knowing what it is we want. And if we genuinely meet that, if we genuinely rest deep in it and experience and be with and feel and witness non-judgmentally the resistance and all the things that come with not knowing, we actually do eventually move into a rather peaceful fondness, even a closeness and intimacy with not knowing what it is we want. And then there is somehow an arising of movement within us. So we will tend to start feeling peace, and within that space of peace we find little glimpses or moments or little thoughts or visions or imprints of what it is we do want. And we may not be able to at this point pull it right in and see it in all its fullness, but we are able to have a glimpse of it. And if it goes away, we then continue to rest in the surrender of the not knowing and the being okay and feeling it again, probably get contracted for a little while, and that's okay, but we go through the same process again. And each time we do this, we move closer and closer to the peace. Neural pathways begin to change, which helps us even further. Our emotions become less exacerbated, less overwhelming. They settle more frequently. We become witness to the fact that we are not our emotions, our thoughts and our feelings, but that we are. And then we rest in deeper to the not knowing, and then we have more glimpses, and eventually these glimpses arise into a fuller, richer idea or movement of what it is we want. And then we can begin to move through our lives with that peaceful feeling of knowing what it is we want, without necessarily at this point beginning to take any kind of action, but just allowing it to mature and deepen. And then at some point it will just happen. You will just spontaneously begin to act. So you've begun to cultivate a really sincere and honest sense of deep, abiding trust in the unknown, which brings you into more of a knowing. But we're not talking about universal truth here. We're talking about trusting in the process of being human and allowing and accepting and being truly in the present moment of direct experience with reality, and creating one that is much more in touch with your deeper sense of universal spirit or consciousness within a very, very human, grounded scope. It's a way of trusting the universe